I've been doing a series on faith, a series that I really didn't plan for before, but by instruction, we started it, and I thought I was only going to preach it for one Sunday, but this is number 3. God wants to do something in our life, and I pray daily that it shall be done, because if we get this, all our problem is solved. It doesn't matter what facet of life the problem is coming from, but the Bible says all things are possible to them that believe. So the title again this morning is Not All Faith Works. Number 3, not all faith works. Have the faith of God. That's what the Holy Spirit has been expanding to us. What faith works and what is the faith of God? How can we have it? How can we walk in it? Our text is still taken from the book of Mark, chapter 11, 13 to 14, and I will read from 20 to 24, from verse 13. And seeing a fig tree afar off, the Bible is talking about Jesus now, having leaves, he came, if haply he might find anything thereon. And when he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for the time of figs was not yet. Verse 14. And Jesus answered and said unto it, No man eat fruit of thee thereafter forever. And his disciples had it. Now let's move to verse 20. And in the morning, that is the next day, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots. Dried up from the roots. How do we know that a tree is dried up from the roots? The Message translation says, they saw the fig tree shriveled to a dry stick. It's shriveled to a dry stick. It's not like, you know how the trees look in the fall and all the leaves. It's not like that. It was shriveled to a dry stick. But the day previously, it was not only standing good, it was full of leaves, up to the point that Jesus thought that if he has leaves like that, there must be fruit in it. If we go to study about figs, we know that even though figs have their season, some of them still bear fruit when it's not the season. And the way you know if they will have fruit or not is by how much leaves they have on it. So this tree had so much leaves on it that Jesus thought that it will at least have one fig, but he didn't have it. But the reason why I'm saying that is by the next day, it was now looking like a tree that is stuck on the ground. Think about that picture in your mind. Verse 21. And Peter called to remembrance, said unto him, Master, behold, the fig tree which thou cursed is withered away. Verse 22. And Jesus answered and said unto him, Have the faith of God. I know that most translations will say have faith in God. But I already explained to you that it was not translated properly because they struggle with translating the Greek word to English. They have faith in God. If they didn't have faith in God, they won't be following Jesus. Have the faith of God. Wycliffe translation said it right. He said, have ye the faith of God. And this is a command. It's not maybe you can have it or maybe you cannot have it. We are commanded to have the faith of God. Why? Why do we need the faith of God? And Jesus went further to explain. And if we look at the verse 22 also in Message translation, it says, embrace this God life. The faith of God is God's life. That's how it lives. Embrace it. Have the faith of God. Why? Verse 23. For verily I say unto you, if you have the faith of God, this is for somebody that have the faith of God, that whosoever have the faith of God shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire when you pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. That's the faith of God. If we have the faith of God, we will say to the mountain, it will be removed and be cast into the stream. And this is individual. Because somebody will come and say, but that person spoke to the mountain, he didn't move. And the pastor or the bishop, I don't care what is happening to the pastor or to the bishop. Jesus was addressing individual right now. Whosoever. Whosoever. Okay, so this message is for whosoever. It's for you. Just forget about everybody else around you. Jesus Christ said, you. If you have this faith of God, you will say to the mountain to be moved, and it shall happen. We must receive that. Because I know a lot of thought is going in the mind of people this morning. But that is where the hindrance is. We must get to a point in our life where we accept this literally. Whatever the Bible is saying right now, that's what it means. Don't try to help God. Say, okay, maybe that's not what God is saying. That's why it's not happening. No. It's not happening because there's nobody yet that believed like this. If there's somebody that believed like this, it will happen like this. But there have been people over the generation that pops up that believe like that. And they see that result. But what I'm believing God is that in our generation, in this church, it's not going to be only one. There will be people that will believe this and it will work for them. That's what God is working on in our life. And it will not only benefit us individually, it will benefit the people of the world. It's always like that. Always. And as Pastor said this morning during the praise and worship, he said, God is looking for a man whose heart is perfect towards him so that he will show himself mighty. This is perfection right here. When you believe God because he said something, not because you want to see a sign. Mark chapter 8 verse 12. And he sighed deeply in his spirit and said, this is Jesus. Why does this generation seek after his sign? I say unto you, there shall no sign be given unto this generation. So instead of us to be waiting for his sign, we should receive the word. Receive the word. It is that word that will bring signs. We don't want to receive the word of God, but we want signs. There is no sign and wonder without the word, except if it is being done by divination and by witchcraft. So if there's anybody seated here that you are desperate for a sign and a wonder and you don't want to receive the word of God, the only way you can get it is by divination and witchcraft. And we see it going on in the church because people are desperate and yet they don't want to receive the word. So if anybody is hungry for sign and wonder this morning, the starting point for you is to receive the word of God. The Bible says that when the disciples went preaching the word, God partnered with them and he followed them everywhere as they went with the word. Signs and wonders was doing what? Following. We must first of all receive the word. We must take the word. And signs and wonders shall follow you. You won't chase after it. It will follow you. You don't need to chase for signs and wonders. Chase after the word. When you chase after the word, signs and wonders will follow you. So, what is the faith of God? I went through a list of 13 things on the first Sunday when we did the first teaching on this. And last Sunday I didn't go over it because I said, we already did it, just listen to the message. So I'm going to go through the list again today. And I need to explain with all these words because there's some Greek words that is impossible to translate to English by just saying one sentence or one word. So all this will make you to understand really good what the faith of God is. Number one is supernatural. It's supernatural. It comes from God. You can't have this kind of faith without God. Number two is God's lifestyle. It's God's lifestyle. That's why the Bible says without faith it is impossible to please God. You cannot operate in the kingdom of God without faith. You can't. Number three It is given by God. Of course. That's why it's supernatural. Number 4, it dwells in our spirit man. This faith of God is in our spirit, is in our heart, is not in our head. It cannot be reasoned out. Number 5, it is pure, with no contamination in it. Number 6, this faith has 0 doubt. 0 doubt. Number 7, 0 unbelief. Number 8, 0 wavering. There is no flip-flopping, no double-mindedness with this faith. Number 9, he speaks. Say why I use the word he. I just find it difficult to call it it. Because the way faith is wrapped with the word of God, I say, okay, he speaks. Number 10, this faith is dead without works. That is, when you present God's kind of faith as a noun, it cannot produce anything until it's changed to a verb. And I'm going to explain that before we finish today. When it changes to a verb, then it does all things. So it's dead without works. That's number 10. Number 11. This kind of faith is more than trusting God. Number 12. It is acting like God. That's it. That's why the Bible says with God all things are possible. And then the Bible also says all things are possible with God. All things are possible with God, and all things are possible with them that believe. So it's the same thing. Number 13 is responding like God. That is, responding to situation as God will respond to it. That's the faith. That's God's kind of faith. When things happen, how do you respond to it? And I presented to us 3 different kinds of faith. 1, the faith of God. 2, the faith of a man. And 3, the faith of God that is contaminated. Now I'm not going to spend that much time on all that because we've done that. But I know that we must know that the faith of God does not need any human proof, does not need signs and wonders. Is activated by the word, and there is no happenstance with it. It must happen. It must happen. There is no maybe with the faith of God. And I know I gave an illustration, I'll give it again today. If I want to drive from here to my house, the faith of a man believes that car will take me home. That's why I'm jumping into it. That's the faith of a man. But when I'm operating on the faith of a man, even though I'm trusting my car to take me home, something might happen on the way. Maybe I run out of gas. Maybe the tire burst. Maybe the police stop me on the way. And then those things start to hinder me from getting home. That's the faith of a man. But the faith of God, if the word of God had proceeded to say that I'm going from church to my house, I want you to listen attentively. If my tire bursts on the way, in spite of that, that car will take me home. If I run out of gas, in spite of that, the car will take me home. That's the difference. There is no happenstance with the faith of God. The faith of God is not limited by the weather. It's not limited by the laws of nature. Do you understand? It's not limited by anything. The word of God cannot be stopped. If it has been issued out, it comes to pass. When Jesus calls that victory, he must die. It does not matter if it rained all night that night. It doesn't matter if it was planted by the rivers of water. It does not matter if they put soil and manure around it. The faith of God does not fail. So with the faith of God, the faith of man, and contaminated faith. And the contaminated faith, which is the one that is very subtle and which a lot of us operate on, I'm not going to spend that much time. If you missed last Sunday, please listen to it, because we talked a lot on contaminated faith last Sunday. But I will say a little bit. When Peter was asked to walk on the water, that's the greatest example we can look at in the Word of God. Jesus Christ said to Peter, come, that's the word. And Peter went on the water based on the Word of God. And because he was acting on the word of God, and he was operating on the faith of God, the law of gravity cannot work, right? That's why he was able to walk on water. Because really, he shouldn't be able to walk on water. But something happened to him. In the process of operating the faith of God, he lifted up his eyes, and the wind was boisterous. And because of that, he was afraid. Immediately he was afraid, he started to sink. That is contaminant in our faith. The fear contaminated the faith of Peter, and immediately the faith that was working for him before stopped to work. And Peter would have drowned but for Jesus. He could have died but for Jesus. But it was not the will of Jesus for him to get drowned, and it was not the will of Jesus for him to die. That's why I say we thank God that most of us are not on water right now. Hallelujah. I'm grateful to God that I'm not walking on water. That is how important it is for the faith of God not to have any contamination. Immediately the contamination is introduced, the faith is aborted. And the Bible says that Jesus grabbed on him and said, "Oh, Peter, oh thou of little faith, why did you doubt?" So let's look at the list of contamination that can happen. I know I gave you last week, I'm going to run through it again. Number 1 is fear. Number 2, doubt. Number 3, unbelief. Number 4, wavering. Number 5, negative critical thoughts. Number 6, negative confession. Because it's not, once you have negative thoughts in you, you cannot prevent yourself from making negative confession. Hallelujah. There's a connection between the mind and the mouth. Number 7, unforgiveness. Number 8, feeling of inferiority complex or self-condemnation. Number 9, the tradition of men. So we see that there are 3 different types of faith. The faith of God, which is what we all desire, because that's the only faith that works. The faith of a man, that one is like you are playing the game of chance. Oh, it might turn out right, or it might not turn out right, depending on how the weather goes, what the law is, what happens, what does not happen, if the tire bursts, you run out of gas, if you know. That's the faith of a man. And then number 3 is the contaminated faith. And we already see the contaminant. Jesus Christ said, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed. You know, sometimes we think that Jesus is contradicting himself. In a place, he said he saw a great faith. And then he said, you don't need a great faith. You need a faith as small as a mustard seed. But the greatness of your faith is not in the size. It's in the purity. How pure is your faith? If you have faith that small, and there's no fear, there's no doubt, there's no unbelief, there's nothing that we listed here in that faith can move mountain. But if you have the big one, as big as it is, with all those contamination in it, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And that's why a lot of us are frustrated. Because to us, our faith is big. You know, when you do your self-examination, you say, okay, it's big. Yes, nobody's contending with that. What about those dots inside it? Peter had big faith when he jumped on the water. His bubble was burst when fear came and doubt came. And that's why it seems not to be getting resulting. We don't need to be angry with God, because that's what it leads to sometimes. A minister of God was telling the story of his life. He said, there was a point in his life that he got so frustrated, he went to an open field. He parked his car, came out of the car, and pointed to the heaven, and he started to yell at God. Because he has prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, fasted, he's done everything that the Bible says to do, he didn't get any result. So he went to fight with God. And it sounds funny, but to be honest with you, most of us have gone through that in our life. Some of us is going through it right now. Some of us are not bold enough to do that. But inside you, maybe you're not bold enough to park your car and point to God like that. But whatever we are thinking in our heart, whether we point to him or not, is as loud as that to him. He hears us. when we are thinking, is very loud to him. When you think, you are speaking to God. See, that's what people do. I mean, it's good to separate some time to pray. But really, that's why the Bible says pray always. That's why we think, how is it possible to pray always? Because when your mind is talking, God is hearing it. So 24/7, whatever your mind is saying, God is seeing it. So when you are out in your home and you are telling every negative thing in your mind, fear, doubts, and everything, you saying it, God is hearing, and then you now come to church and it's time to pray. You are now praying. No result. No result. The Bible says, let not such a man think that you will receive what? Anything. Whether it is great or small. That's why we're frustrated. God is going to help us to reclaim our faith or to redefine our faith. When you redefine your faith, are you using the faith of man or the faith of God? So if you are, then switch over, because all the things God is going to teach us. If you are using the faith of God and it's contaminated, let's get rid of contaminants. But the good news is this, which we started to talk about last Sunday. We spent a lot of time on that too. We continue from that today. The good news is that God has dealt with every man a measure of faith. So we don't need to leave here this morning and go and kneel down by your bed and pray that, God, please give me faith. If you are born again, you have the faith of God. Isn't it good to know that? Isn't it good for you to know that you have the ability to demonstrate what Jesus Christ demonstrated? I tell God, I don't want to wait to get to heaven, because then it doesn't mean anything whether I move a sycamore tree or I don't move it. This is, it matters here. So in this flesh of mine, I must do it. And I will, not because of myself, but because of God that will empower me to do it, because I'm willing. Now, I'm not only believing God for myself, I'm believing God for everybody in this church. And it shall come to pass in Jesus' name. So, we have the faith of God. Romans 12:3. Romans 12:3. God has dealt with every man a measure of faith. Ephesians 2:8. It is the gift of God. Our faith is the gift of God. Hallelujah. That's why there's no difference between Jew and Gentiles. Romans 3:22 and then Galatians 2:20. Paul testified. He said, the life that I live in the flesh, I live by faith of the Son of God. The faith of the Son of God is the faith of God. Hallelujah. That's why he told his disciples, he said, don't look at me strangely like that. You just have the faith of God. That's all you need. If you have the faith of God, you do the same thing that I'm doing right now. And Paul lived by the faith of the Son of God. That's why he was able to do all that he did in his own time. We can live by the faith of the Son of God and experience signs and wonders in our life. How do we move forward? We move forward, one, we decontaminate our faith. Whatever contaminant is in our faith, we want to take it out. Two, we want to convert the noun to a verb. This is where I'm going to be concentrating on this morning. We need to convert the noun to a verb. Because the faith that God has dealt with us is in a noun form. Faith is a noun. But the noun cannot produce anything except it becomes a verb. What am I saying? Until the faith is activated, it cannot produce anything. We need to activate our faith, and we need to contaminate our faith. So let's talk a little bit about putting action in our faith. James chapter 2, from verse 17 to 26. Even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. Yeah, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Shew me thy faith without thy works, and I will shew thee my faith by my works. It is impossible for you to show your faith without your works. When works is removed from faith, it cannot be seen. Verse 19. Thou believest that there is one God. Thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. Underline that in your Bible. This is more than I believe God, though. It's more than that. Everybody believes God. including Satan. Even the belief of Satan is higher than the beliefs of most Christians, because at least he trembles. A lot of Christians will believe God and we have no regard for him, no reverence for him. So the faith that we are talking about this morning, brethren, is beyond I believe God. Yes, I know you believe God. It's beyond that. But without know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead. Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar? When God spoke to Abraham and said, go and offer your son, your only begotten, your only son that you love. God rubbed it in very well. Your only son that you loved. Abraham did not sit at home and say, okay, God, I say yes. Oh yes, with my body and my soul. I say yes, 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 yes. Because that's what we Christians do. We come to church, we say yes. You say no action. Please, if you say yes, show to me that you are saying yes. But that is what is going to bring result. The Bible said immediately God spoke to Abraham, he gathered himself together. He took Isaac, he took the servant, and they went on a journey to where they don't even know. If it was me and you, will find an excuse. Say, let me wait upon the Lord until they show me the location. For 5 years, we're still waiting on the Lord. He said, yes, God has called me to do this. I'm waiting on him. 10 years go by. I'm waiting on the Lord. Nothing will happen. And you will do nothing if you keep doing that. You must stand up. You must be on your way. That is faith. Faith must be activated to bring results. The Bible says, when Abraham was on his way, they got to the mountain. And God said, this is the place. He would never have known the place if he didn't leave his house. And then he got to the mountain, he pulled out the knife. He was ready to kill his son. He didn't say, God, you know I will kill Isaac. He had the knife. The angel had to stop him. Why? Why was Abraham ready to kill his son? He believed God. He had the faith of God, because I know God is able to raise this son that I'm killing up. Because he stood upon the word of God that came to him initially. He said, you shall be the father of nations. So if it was God that said Abraham is going to be the father of nations, and the same God is saying kill your son, he knows that God must do something, because the word that was offered at the beginning cannot stop. It must come to pass. Whatever word God has spoken concerning your life must come to pass. If you have the faith of God, the only thing that can stop the promise of God from manifesting in your life is whether you have the faith of God. The devil is not strong enough. He will try. But you know what? What does he try? What does he do when he tries? He works on us so that we can hinder ourselves. That's the strategy of Satan. Listen to me. That's what he does. God promised me something. Satan doesn't want me to have it. He's not going to come and snatch it from my hand, because he knows that if he does it, I know him well enough, I'll fight to take it back. He will bring situation into my life that will make me lose my faith because of fear and doubt and unbelief. Then I hinder myself, and he goes about his own jolly way. Somebody must catch that, because that's the greatest strategy that Satan uses against us as believers. And don't sit there and say, oh, I am strong, I've grown so much in the Lord. That is the greatest strategy he used for great men. Didn't he use it for Elijah, who is seated here that have stopped the rain from falling for 3.5 years? And then you call it back again. There's nobody. But Satan was able to bring him to a point where he lost his faith. And because of that, he was not able to fulfill his destiny. Look, when our life is infested with fear and doubt and unbelief, you are useless to God. Somebody should write that down too. So don't come to church and be crying, God, use me. Use me, Lord. Use me, Lord. If you can cry for 20 years, God cannot use a man that have fear and doubt and unbelief. You are useless to yourself. You are useless to God. You are useless to the people that are around you. That's why we need to get rid of this contaminant. And God is going to help us in the name of Jesus. Let's continue to read. Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar? Seest thou how faith wrought with his works? By the works was faith made perfect. And the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of God. Cannot have faith and not be a friend of God. God wants to be with somebody that has faith. If you want God to be close to you, have faith. That's God's life. He wants to be around somebody that is like him. And that's why he dealt with us the measure of faith. That's why he gave it to us, because he really wants to be with us. But when we are full of doubt and unbelief, the Bible says unbelief is an evil heart that departs from the living God. Verse 24. And ye see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. Verse 25. Likewise, also was not Rahab the harlot justified by works, when she had received the messengers and had sent them out another way? For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. Underline that. If you have not put action to your faith, it is dead. You don't have faith. Let me put it that way. You don't have faith. That's why Jesus Christ told his disciples when they were trying to cast out that devil at the foot of the mountain and they could not. They went to Jesus and said, why can't we do it? Jesus said to them, because of your unbelief. He said, oh thou faithless generation, how long will I be with you? How long? How long? A faith that is not active is faithless. I know it doesn't sound like English, but that is it. A faith without action is faithless. So we need to put action on our faith. And I know a lot of people are you're thinking in your mind right now, how am I going to, okay, I want to put action. What do I do? When we're talking about putting action to your faith, everything starts from the Word of God. Because what do you put action on? You must have had some that makes you do something. So it starts with the Word. Let's see Romans 4:18-21. I want to look at Abraham again. Who against hope believed in hope, that he might become the father of many nations according to that which was spoken. Underline that. According to what was spoken. What have been spoken to you? What have you heard? You know, some people will come to you and say, Pastor, I'm believing God. For what? What have been spoken? Nothing. So what are you believing God for? It's one of those phrases that we just use as Christians. If you are believing God, there must be a word. And if you are going to act, you must be acting on the word. According to that which was spoken, so shall thy seed be. Something was spoken that triggered Abraham to do what he did. Verse 19. And being not weak in faith, he considered not his own body now dead. Let me tell you something. If you are believing God for healing, you must come to a point in your life where you consider not your body. Because if you consider your body, you cannot have pure faith. What does it mean not to consider your body? The reason why the Bible used this consider not your body is because the faith that Abraham was trying to believe God for have to do with the body. If it's something else too, it doesn't have to be body. You might not consider not your bank account. Let's put it that way. Maybe you have a major project that you want to do. You are believing God to supply. You cannot consider your bank account, because if you consider it, your faith will not be pure. It goes on and on and on and on, depending on what the situation of life we are facing. For example, the Israelites, sometimes when they are going to fight a war, they must not consider the size of their army. Because if they consider the size of their army, they will not have uncontaminated faith. They must not consider the strength of the one that is coming against them. Or consider not the stature of the person you are fighting with. Was that not what David did? All the Israelites, including King Saul, considered the stature of Goliath. And because they considered the stature of Goliath, they could not demonstrate the faith of God until David showed up. And it was as if he couldn't even see Goliath. People were afraid for him, crying for him, weeping when they saw him. Say, this little boy just wants to die like that, die like a rat. But that is somebody that was not considering something for healing. Consider not your body. Because if you are waiting for you to feel right in your body to receive your healing, it will never happen. So you will get up to a point where your body is telling you something else. You choose not to consider it. Amen. You consider the word of God. Amen. When you stay long enough like that, your body will conform. Amen. He considered not his own body now dead when he was about 100-year-old. Neither yet the deadness of Sarah's womb. He didn't care about science. He didn't care about what the doctor said. Because I'm sure if a 100-year-old woman or 99-year-old woman knock at the doctor's office and the doctor says, "Ma'am, how can I help you?" And the woman says, I want to have a child. The news will carry that one, you know. They will think that, in fact, they will send her to a psychiatrist. But the word of God cannot be stopped by anything like that. As long as you have a word. Verse 20. He staggered not at the promise of God through unbelief. He staggered not. Because right at the time when he wasn't considering his body, the body was staring at him. The body was talking to him. But he did not stagger. He was strong in faith, doing what? Giving glory to God. And being fully persuaded that what he had promised, he was able also to perform. The reason why that thing will happen is because God has said it. That's why you need a word. If there is no word that you are standing on, then what is the guarantee that it's going to come to pass? So the starting point is the word that God gives us. And that's the way God himself operates. He operates by the word. I want to give an example before I continue on the message. I just want to talk about testimony of Shambach. Shambach said he had, and they have this family sickness, generational sickness in their family, that everybody have problem with the heart. His father died from heart attack. Grandfather died from heart attack. And I think he already had about 2 brothers already died of heart attack at that time. So he said he was on a journey going somewhere, and suddenly his heart, he started to have, all the signs and symptoms. So he said, immediately he felt that he became afraid. Of course, that's the natural instinct of a man. He started to stay, and then the thoughts started coming into his head. His father, the grandfather, the brothers. Then suddenly the word of the Lord came to him. He said, "No! I am born again. Been born into the family of Christ. That is my inheritance. The blood of Jesus, blah, blah, blah." So he started to say, do you know what he did? Because he wanted to put action to his faith, he parked the car and he started to run. He ran, covered a few blocks. He said people will look at him and say, "What's wrong with this man?" But he knew what he was doing. He knew to act out the word of God. He remembered the word of God and the promise that God gave us about healing. He put the promise in his mouth. And then he put it in action. Park the car. Because if somebody is having heart attack, you can't be running right. In fact, you shouldn't be doing anything that will exalt you. But he said, "Look, I am not having a heart attack." And he did that. He came back to his car. And that was the end of it. Praise the Lord. The mistake that most of us do is that we play with it, we nurse it, we allow it to germinate. What about if you had parked and called 911? That would have been the beginning of some sickness. And then, after accepting it, now to dig out of the hole is another problem. Don't accept anything that the enemy wants to bring along your way. As long as you have the word of God that you are standing on, and you put action to your faith, it will come to pass. When I was young, I was in UI, just gave my life to Christ at that time. My faith was small but pure. I know people that gave their lives to Christ young like that, you understand what I'm saying. I was fearless. God tells me that this world is red. And we are all looking at it is white. To me, it's red. And I mean it. With no doubt, nothing. Okay, so we were in medical school, I was doing dentistry, but when we were in UI, we were all together doing the same courses and all that. And they will allow us to study for 2 years. And then we do this mighty exam. We call it second MD. It was so bad that is what we determine whether you are going to continue or not. A lot of people, they will, once you fail twice, they will chase you out. You have to do medicine anymore. Okay? So I did that test. We all did the exam. It's 3 major courses. I had 2 receipts. Receipts mean that you are not going to repeat, but they allow you to retake the exam again. So I'm like, wow, 2 receipts? Why should I have them? So I went to prayer and all that. I prayed, and I told God, I said, look, God, I am not repeating. You said this, you said that, you said this. I said, so I am going to take these 2 exams and I'm passing it. So after I prayed that prayer, I said, I believe. And God said, yes, you believe? I said, yes. God said, go and testify. Okay. So I went to the fellowship and I told the president, I have a testimony, They said, okay, in those days they will give a little time for people that have testimony. But he didn't know what I was going to say. If he had known, he would have begged me not to do it. Because what about if you now take the exam and you don't pass? You understand? So he didn't know. So I got up that day and I said, okay, men and brethren, blah, blah, blah. I haven't done the exam, but I know I've passed. And because I know I've passed already, I already know. So why do I need to wait to give testimony? Have you seen people, they will plan what they will do? Say, when God have done this thing, I will throw a party, I will do this. I say, throw it now. If you believe. If you cannot throw it now, you don't believe. Anyway, to cut the long story short, I gave my testimony. And I left, and I was not afraid. But the president, the vice president, the general, all those leaders, they were so afraid for me. But they couldn't say it out. So not known to me, they were praying, this girl, but I didn't care. I said it was done. Of course, I took the exam and I passed. And I came back again to tell the people that, well, I came and I gave this testimony and it's manifested. That was when the president now came up and told his own part of the story, that if I had told him before I came, he wouldn't have let me do it because of fear. But the point is, that is the demonstration of the faith of God. That's what I'm saying. The faith of God does not wait for something to manifest before you rejoice. The Bible says that Abraham already, when his body was dead, when the body of Sarah was dead, Sarah was menopausal, there was no sign, she was not pregnant, there was no sign that they were going to have a son. He already started to raise praises and worship. He already was doing his own Thanksgiving service. Because as far as he was concerned, he was done. So what are you waiting for? You already have your plan. If God does it, if once there is still there is no faith, or the faith is contaminated. So if really God had done it, act like it's done. Don't we say, if God do it, I will jump up, I will dance away. If do it now. Because if you don't do it now, then you don't believe. And because you don't believe, you might not see it. Against hope. Against hope. The Bible is not saying that you should have the faith of God because everything is looking good. It's easy to have the faith of God when everything is looking good. When God showed up on the earth, things were not looking good. The Bible says everything was void. Darkness covers the deep. Everything was ruined and damaged. But God didn't care about what he saw. He had faith. He put his faith into action. He put it in his mouth and he began to speak. God is speaking to somebody here today. Don't sit down and be depressed because of the destruction that you see around you. Don't sit down there and be depressed and be bowed down because of the darkness and because of the ruin that you see and because creativity that is going on. The word of God does not work depending on darkness, or depending on ruin, or depending on how scattered and damaged things seem to be. The word of God works because it is the word of God. If you can take it as it is, just take the word. Out of that word, order will come out. Out of the word, beauty will come out. Out of the word, perfection will come out. Out of the word, healing will come. God is able to do exceeding abundantly above what you can ask of, being according to the power that is at work in us. The power of the Holy Spirit. The same power is made available to all, whosoever. Whosoever. And the good news is that everybody seated here that knows the Lord Jesus falls into the category of the whosoever, because God have dealt unto you a measure of faith. And thank God, because the faith that is needed to move the mountain does not depend on the size. So we cannot come to God and say, okay, God, you know I'm handicapped because my own faith is so small. Increase my faith. That was what the disciples did when they went to Jesus. They said, Master, please increase our faith. And Jesus said to them, you don't need increase. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you will say to the sycamore tree to be plucked up, be cast into the sea. It shall be done unto you. Let's stand on our feet.